From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode,
this week, the executive director of Bankable shares insight on how to give your business a strong financial start. Find out the Procurement and Participation Task Force from Business Equity for Indy and how it helps Black-owned businesses tap into revenue potential.
Jeremy Stevens is the co-founder of DYC Fitness. He's a personal trainer whose own journey to get fit led him to create a successful business that now has turned him into a social media influencer pursued by major brands across the country.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
We like to start each show with a segment called Getting Started. Each week, we focus on things you need to consider when planning a new business. This week, the executive director of Bankable shares insight on how to give your business a strong financial start.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting started.
So when you're starting a business, applying for a loan can be intimidating to many entrepreneurs. It is a process where you're going to need some accurate and up-to-date financial documents and information that every lender will ask for about the same types of things. The first step is to make sure that you have a business banking account. It is never a good idea to commingle your personal finances and your business finances. It makes it very difficult for tax purposes. And in some cases, it's illegal to commingle those funds. So start a business bank account and begin moving all of your transactions into that business bank account. When you go to apply for a loan, it's important to be prepared. It will make the process much smoother and in some cases faster if you have all of your documents gathered beforehand. Most banks are going to ask for a few key financial documents. One is a balance sheet. A balance sheet is a snapshot of a point in time of your business's assets, the things that your business owns, and your liabilities, the things that your business owes. Your assets must balance or equal your liabilities plus your shareholders' equity. Shareholders' equity is another way to say what you've invested in your business out of your personal funds or what you've accumulated in the business and retained inside of the business. Two, a bank is going to ask for an income statement. This is also called a profit and loss statement, or a P&L for short. The profit and loss statement is a record of your revenue and your expenses. And the difference between your revenue, what you've earned, and your expenses, what you've spent, is your net income. That's your profit, what you've made in the business. A bank's also going to ask for 1 to 3 years of tax returns, both personal tax returns and business tax returns. If you're a startup business, though, you're not going to have a lot of financial history, maybe none, and so you're going to want to prepare a business plan. Now, that can also be an intimidating document for a lot of business owners. It doesn't need to be 100 pages of eloquently written text. It can be 2 to 3 pages, but very detailed. And your business plan will talk about your goals, the methods that you're going to use to achieve those goals, and then the timeline that it's going to take you to achieve those goals. You're also going to need business projections, and this is a look forward of what you think your business will do in the next 1 to 3 years. These two documents, you can find templates online, or you can visit your Indiana Small Business Development Corporation and be paired with an advisor who will walk you through how to prepare those documents. That's isbdc.org. They're a great organization based in Indiana. They are a nonprofit and are very valuable to business owners starting out, have a number of resources. It is very important for a new business owner to evaluate their personal credit history. Many financial institutions will rely mostly on their personal credit history. So if your credit score is not in great shape, there are several strategies that you can use to help improve your credit score. But sometimes, by the time you realize your credit score is low, it's almost too late. And that's when you want to look toward a community development financial institution who have more less strict guidelines on credit scores and collateral, and it's easier to qualify for a loan. We believe that entrepreneurship is the best way and the most impactful way to make a positive outcome on local communities and individuals. But we also know that there is limited access to capital and barriers, especially for entrepreneurs of color and those in low-income areas. And so what happens is those entrepreneurs don't always get approved for a loan at a bank. They don't get the capital that they need, and they can sometimes resort to more predatory institutions that can charge triple-digit interest rates, extremely high transaction fees and costs. And this can really be harmful to their business. So our vision at Bankable is that anyone can launch, grow, and sustain an impactful business. And we do that by working with entrepreneurs who aren't quite ready to get a loan at a bank. And there's several reasons why they might not be ready for a loan with a bank. Maybe they have credit problems. Maybe they have a history of bankruptcy in their past. Maybe they're a startup and it's just too new for a bank. A number of reasons. And so we work with those entrepreneurs closely, and a lot of times we're able to make loans that banks won't.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. Time for This Week in Business. And to do that, we have a special guest with us today from the Department of Labor. Lacey Houle joins us now. She knows so much about a very important topic specific to small business owners in many cases, and that is child labor. In other words, what can we and can we not do in terms of employing a younger one, give them an opportunity while also not putting them in danger? Lacey, thanks for being with us today. Talk about the campaign that you guys have underway right now.
Yeah, so the Midwest region is currently doing a child labor campaign where we're out trying to promote the child labor laws that we enforce. And so the next webinar that we have coming up will be next Tuesday, September 20th. And that's for employers that's in the food service industry.
Want to make sure that our viewers know that they can find that through your website. But to do that, easiest way for us anyways, go to BEOshow.com. We have a link right there and some other great resources that you guys have provided for us. Why is this such an important topic? Not just always, but in particular right now in this interesting age we are in with the pandemic and so many other things.
Yeah, so we're seeing a rise in child labor violations, specifically in the food service industry. So we just obviously want to promote and help employers stay in compliance and get into compliance if they're not in compliance, but also help educate the workers, the minors and their parents on what their rights are, and let them understand what the protections are that they have.
It is interesting. We've seen more violations, and as you say, we see more young people in the workforce. We're in an incredibly tight labor market right now, which means more opportunities, but it also may mean more opportunities to accidentally fall astray of the rules. When you think about that, is there the hope that business owners will want to get ahead of this? In other words, learn the issues, learn the right things to do, instead of then on the other side of it finding out, oh, I broke a rule and now I face a fine, things like that.
Yeah, so the Secretary of Labor has declared 17 hazardous occupations that are too dangerous for workers under the age of 18 to perform. And so some of those hazardous occupations that we're seeing more commonly are the minors operating motor vehicles, where there might be delivering food to residents, or a lot of times the responsibility of a minor would be to take the trash out for an employer. And so if they have a trash compactor or even a baler where they're recycling cardboard, those are prohibited for minors under the age of 18. And so we also see common violations with minors operating meat slicers or even food slicers, and even some baking machines as your vertical dough mixers. And in 2020, I personally had to investigate a child labor death case for a 16-year-old that was operating a forklift, and obviously that's another piece of equipment that is prohibited under federal law.
The opportunities that you have provided both through this webinar coming up this week, again Tuesday on the 20th, and the online resources as well. If you had the ear of a small business owner, and you have the ear of hundreds of them right now, what would you want them to know? What would you want them to be thinking?
So first, as a small business owner, it's, a top priority for them to understand the child labor laws and these hazardous occupations, as well as the hours worked for the minors. And then next, we encourage employers to, train their supervisors and their managers to make sure that they understand what the laws and regulations are as they're more than likely working alongside these minors. And we have some best practices on our website that employers can visit, such as wearing a special color-coded uniform or a T-shirt or a name tag that will identify the minors separately from other workers, and so that the managers know that they are working under certain restrictions.
I never would have thought of it, but it makes all the sense in the world. There is so much to unpack here. Time is short, unfortunately, right now, but if you'll do us the honor, we'd like to extend this conversation next week on business equity and opportunities. Lacey will join us again and talk a little bit more about that, for instance, situation with the forklift driver, what she learned from that, what different age groups can and cannot do. And again, as for that webinar, which is Tuesday this week, BEOshow.com has the specifics on how to get involved in it. It also has links to those other resources that she mentioned. We'll take a time out right now. When we come back, much more business equity and opportunity. If you're looking to find more upcoming local business events like that or webinars that might be of interest, we have some of those to share as well. When we come back, expert advice about getting and using a bank line of credit. That's the topic on today's Accounting and Bookkeeping. We take a look at digital advertising and find out how it can be a useful tool for a successful business. And Kathy Langham gives us insights into the business of logistics. If you want more business equity and opportunities, check our podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network. You can find out how to subscribe through the link on our website, BEOshow.com. While you're there, sign up for the BE&O newsletter and stay up to date on the latest resources to help your small business. You're watching Business Equity and Opportunities, and we'll be right back. Each week on Business Equity and Opportunities, we share a success story from one of our business contributors. The hope is it'll inspire entrepreneurs and small business owners alike to follow their dreams. Today, we introduce you to a local fitness expert turned influencer. His story is still unfolding.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities Success Story.
Jeremy Stevens is the co-founder of DYC Fitness. He's a personal trainer whose own journey to get fit led him to create a successful business that now has turned him into a social media influencer pursued by major brands across the country.
I always lead with, I used to weigh almost 300 pounds, and I know here on camera today you don't see that anymore, which is what kind of struck the whole journey in itself. Back in 2016, I went through an extreme weight loss journey of my own, and it's kind of cool to sit on the other side of the fence, every day throughout, the months, the years. I get to help other people do the same. So in 2016, I went through this extreme weight loss journey. I've always played sports, so I've always been into working out, but I was missing the nutrition aspect as well. So, I found a meal plan online and I just started following it. I was already working out, but adding the nutrition piece, I just saw all the results that I wanted. I started posting on Instagram, started posting on social media, these huge transformations, and it caught a lot of traffic, which is kind of how I got to be the name that I am on social media as well. With that journey, I also ended up starting an online training service and meal plan service. It's called Disturbing Comfort. It's still around today with my business partner, Joshua Hibbett. We actually went to high school together, and he came to me. He was like, you know what, Jeremy, you've lost all this weight. What can we do with this? And, just send me like everything you know about fitness, in a Word document. So I ended up sending them about 10 pages of just stuff. Eat this, eat that, don't eat this, weekend tips, drink your water. It was just stuff. It wasn't no particular order. And he was like, okay, we have this. Let's create a business out of it and offer these services to people that can also benefit from it. So we started that company in 2017, and now here we are in 2022. We now have our own gym located in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana, where Josh and I are both from. So it's near and dear to our heart to serve the Indy community. That's kind of my journey, my story, how I got started. I'm very relatable to a lot of people who walk through our doors because I've been the overweight person, I've been the fit person. So we want as many locations as possible. We want to help as many lives as possible at the end of the day, and we know that more locations are going to be needed to do so. We of course, we're here downtown Indianapolis, but we want to be on the north side, the south side, the east side. We want to continue to spread the good word and continue to help people as much as possible. I think that if you are trying to reach a goal, I think that you need guidance to do so if you've never reached that goal before. It's just like anything else. It's just like a basketball player having a basketball coach, a football player having a football coach. I personally think that anybody who is serious about their fitness and really have goals and aspirations to reach a certain height that they've probably never been before, I think guidance and accountability and motivation is what's going to drive you there. And I think hiring a coach or a fitness professional in order to get there is kind of where we are and where I see the fitness industry going. It's up to us fitness professionals to kind of seek that out and continue to spread that word and continue to promote the importance of having a coach in your corner that is always going to be there holding your hand throughout the process. So I think it's very important. My dad always says that life moves at the speed of relationships, and it's the same here in the fitness space, especially in this personal training gym. We are building relationships as well as personal trainers. I always like to say that we have a lot of different hats in here. Yes, we're personal trainers. Yes, we're fitness professionals. Yes, we're gym owners. But at the same time, we're counselors, we're friends, we're brothers, we're sisters. We're a lot of different things, and that comes with building relationships. And if you can build that one-on-one progression and relationship, I think that, especially in the niche gyms, is going to go a long way simply because we are having that one-on-one interaction. And it's a lot harder for the client to quit if they have a relationship with the trainer or the fitness professional, because at the end of the day, we're holding them accountable, we're motivating them. Like I said, sometimes people are coming in here long days of work, and then they're just coming here to let out a sweat and just kind of get everything out. We're there for that, if that makes sense. So that relationship is very important. Influencer Jeremy, one thing that you have to go online to see, it's not something that I talk about in person too much. If I was just walking down the street and they're like, hey, Jeremy, what do you do for a living? I'd say I own a gym downtown Indianapolis. That's my spiel. If they go do their research, if they look up DYC Fitness and they see Jeremy Stevens, the owner, and then they may see, this guy has like a lot of Instagram followers. Like, who is this guy? This guy almost has 40,000 Instagram followers. Who is this? That side of Jeremy is one thing that I have grown to love. I love interacting on social media. I love marketing for brands. I love bringing brands to life through videos, through reels, through pictures. It's one thing that I definitely didn't see coming, but as my fitness brand grew, social media did as well, and kind of some of the biggest brands that you can think of have probably reached out to me, and we've done deals together. So it's awesome. It's a cool space. One thing that even when I was in high school, I'm 31 years old, wouldn't have even been a thing. So the fact that people can actually make a living on social media is one thing that I absolutely love.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week, we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at beoshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.